What's going on, everyone? It's Marcellus back with another video. We got to talk about Baby Doge. This is just going to be a short little update on the technical analysis with Baby Doge and Bitcoin. So definitely hit that like button and subscribe. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor, none of this financial advice, but let's go over this. So as you can see, Baby Doge is kind of still moving sideways, but look, all this movement here is pretty much from yesterday. So all of this sideways movement was yesterday's movement, but you can see as we led into today, we actually had some purchasing coming back into Baby Doge, but it was immediately followed by a drop, but then more purchasing. So now we're seeing this volume kind of increasing in Baby Doge, which kind of shows that we have that potential to reach that 1250 support pretty much. So hopefully we can actually reach it. It definitely looks like we're going in the right direction. So we actually may have that potential to reach the support. Now it's showing our 24-hour market control being in control by the bulls by 80% rather than being bearish by 60%. So now it shows that we're pretty much 80% bullish. And if this is true, then yeah, that 1250 area is going to be a lot easier to break. And then eventually that 1350 area will also be a lot easier to break if we can continue to get more buying volume in on Baby Doge. Now, the 4-hour chart is pretty much the long-term chart. But if you look over here at the 4-hour chart with Baby Doge, it does show now that we are going up a little bit, we're increasing a little bit, but now we're going into red territory. And this red area is pretty much supply and demand of less demand. So it's pretty much our resistance area, which is around 1250. So if we're going inside of this less demand area, you could easily see Baby Doge getting rejected. But right now it looks like, we're trying to build up into this area here, the red shaded area, but it all just depends on what goes on next in the overall crypto market. So hopefully we don't have too much of a pullback here, but we're just going to have to see. This first one was immediately met by a pullback, and notice that we're not as high as we were previously. That high is now a little bit lower. So this could be an indication that we're going on a path downwards. So that could also be a possibility. But there's another possibility where we come back down and then we don't go all the way down to our previous levels down here, and we end up stopping somewhere around here. And then we have some kind of movement like this where we're kind of like consolidating and getting those lower highs, but yet higher lows. So something like that could happen and then a breakout. So this is just a prediction. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice, but we see these kind of patterns happening all the time inside of Baby Doge. And actually, if you look back here to my previous technicals, that's pretty much how we're having it. They were on longer time spans, so longer periods of time. But still, there's still a possibility that Baby Doge could be pretty much forming something up like that right now. But this is just in the short term. We're looking at a 15-minute chart, so it's just going to show you the short term area. But if we were just going to keep looking at the 4-hour chart, it kind of does look like Baby Doge is building up for that next rally. But we need to get past this red area in order for that rally to be true. But anyways, you can still see on the oscillator, there's still selling going on in Baby Doge. But let's talk about Bitcoin. So as you can see here in Bitcoin, so we hit this support down here in Bitcoin, right? And almost immediately after hitting this support, Bitcoin just starts to rise. And now, boom, now we're going up into this area here. Green area, pretty much more demand, and our support, red area, pretty much less demand, and our resistance. So now you're seeing Bitcoin just started heading straight up there after it hit this area right here. Now you also want to look at the high activity expected, because this high activity expected is pretty much institutional investors and dark pools. But notice the second that we had the high activity expected, we started to have this huge increase inside the price, which pretty much confirms that these indicators are working fairly well right now. So it shows whenever we have that high activity coming in for Baby Doge, or really for Bitcoin. But now what it's showing us is that we're having moderate to low activity inside of Bitcoin. And the problem with that is if there's moderate to low activity, it's going to be a lot harder for us to break past this area. But remember, this is just the 15M chart, so it's pretty short term. We're going to look at the long-term chart in a second here, the 4-hour chart. But you can see here, our buying is actually starting to slow down, which is a bearish signal here. And you can also see there's low to moderate activity here, which is also a bearish signal in the red area, supply and demand of less demand, which is pretty much also a bearish signal. You can also see over here, we have the same thing forming up. So we have a lot of bearish signals. The selling is starting to speed up. The buying is pretty much slowing down here. And now you can see the last buying wave is little to none. So you're probably going to see Bitcoin going from where it's at now, about 19.9K. back down to about 19.6K, quite possibly even 19.5K. So we could be seeing that coming up for Bitcoin. And remember, this is just a short-term chart. If we look at the 4-hour chart, it'll look a little bit more different. And whenever you look at the 4-hour chart, it does show something different actually. So it shows that we're coming off this oversold area. So this whole area here, the indicators are saying that it's oversold. And then it's saying that we had a buying area, a overbought area, saying this was overbought. Very little buying, but they're saying it's overbought. But look at how the selling is slowing down inside of Bitcoin. That's a bullish signal. See, notice in the last one for the 15M chart, it was the opposite. The buying was slowing down, which is a bearish signal. But now, when you look at it for the long-term chart, the 4-hour chart, you're seeing that now the buying is starting to speed up and the selling is slowing down. We're looking at it from the long term. So long term is pretty much showing Bitcoin has that possibility to become bullish. And if we were to get all the way up here to about 22.6K, there's going to be high activity from the institutional investors. So if we can get Bitcoin back up to 22.6K, that's when we're going to start seeing institutional investors throwing money into Bitcoin. That's pretty much when they look at it as a confirmation to the upside and then leading us to our next resistance all the way up here at 28K or around 26.6K. So that's what we could see there for Bitcoin. But yeah, either way, I definitely think we're still bullish long term. But right now, in the immediate short term, it looks like we're going to do a pullback followed by another pump. So that's what we're going to be waiting for here inside of Bitcoin. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for those technicals. But now remember, Baby Doge is still, on the sideways movement right now, only up 1.2% for the last 24 hours, so not too bad. But when you look at everything else, Baby Doge is up a lot more than everything else. Other than Ethereum, it's only down 0.1% more than Ethereum. But hey, still, look at this though. Let's go, Baby Doge Army. Most traded meme coins inside the Binance Smart Chain in the last 24 hours. Baby Doge actually got to number one, and then you got all these other cryptos here. But yeah, Baby Doge is above everything right now. Like we're above something called Luffy, Venu, Floki, Yushi, Cakecoin, Quack, Kata, Saudi, Sheep, and SafeMoon. So yeah, we're above all of those different things. So yeah, big shout out to the Baby Doge Army for making us the best community in crypto, pretty much. But hey, this is all I got for you all today. Like I said, it's just a short little update on the technicals. But yeah, definitely hit that like button and subscribe and leave a comment in the comment section. And remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. As always, I'll be back with another video.